Hey, what's going on guys? C212 here. This is my hospital story. Now, make sure you are relaxed, as I feel that you'll find this very interesting. I mean, why else did you click on the video? Just bear in mind that I won't be going into too much detail, because you really don't need to know all that stuff. Okay, so we start on Thursday, the 15th of February 2018 at 11:20 AM. My appointment with the GP. Now they run some tests and I get diagnosed and admitted to hospital straight away. My blood glucose levels were at 23.6. So we're on our way to the hospital and we get stuck in traffic on the way there due to roadworks. The queue was going on for miles. So we had to take a detour, which admittedly is better than sitting around in traffic queues for long. So when we finally got to the hospital, we waited, basically. But luckily, not for long. The doctors see me and take a few more tests, including another blood glucose one, where my levels somehow rose to 32, which is extremely high. And a series of injections later, and I am in a hospital bed with a tube of saline water running through it into my bloodstream. I then got moved into another ward whilst my mum was out getting some tea. And roughly an hour later, I moved again, this time to another ward full of patients, again whilst mum was getting tea. And then soon after that, I'm put on potassium water, or as we jokingly called it, liquid banana. Now, dinner was served here. I had a very nice meal of cream of mushroom soup, strawberry yogurt, cheese and crackers, and more that I can't remember. Now, during dinner, the rest of the family came to visit. Now, my brother offered to open the yogurt pot, as I couldn't, as my right arm was out of action because it had a tube full of potassium water running through it. And when he did, the yogurt pot literally exploded all over him. It was funny to watch. It was just. Now, after the family left, apart from my mum, we got moved again to another ward. Now, this ward had a guy with dementia. A guy is, I'm assuming, another form of diabetes, and there were a few more people as well. Now, this is where I spent the night. This is where I tell you that you must bring some form of entertainment for yourself. And the Switch is very good for this scenario. As you can set it up on a table and slide off the Joy-Con, lie down in your bed and play. And my mum just left just after dinner, so then I played Mario Kart until roughly 10 PM. Then I called it a night. All the while, the nurses there were continuously taking blood tests and blood glucose tests and everything else that they needed to do. At 2:30 AM, apparently, my blood glucose levels fell to 4.1, which is almost in the hypoglycemia stage, being less than 4. At this point, the nurses rushed to me and gave me some digestive biscuits and a packet of crisps. If you don't know what digestive biscuits are, they're basically just wheat biscuits that you can dunk in tea, and it's very nice. Obviously, if you don't know what a packet of crisps are, then you have been living under a rock for quite some time. So anyways, they gave me those two items, saying that I needed to eat them now. They also changed my potassium water to glucose water because they fell really low. I'm guessing the potassium water did something to it. So they put me on glucose water to raise my levels again. Anyways, so I remember feeling at the time extremely hungry and extremely tired. I mean, I was not going to pass the opportunity up to eat. And then after that, the nurses check my blood glucose levels every half hour. So did not get that much sleep that Thursday night. And then when I next woke up, about 5:30 in the morning, it's when the hospital starts its day. I've gone too far in the script. Anyways, there wasn't really that much to do. I mean, I did try going back to sleep, but to no avail. So just lying there for several hours, waiting for 8 a.m. because that reason being that in my ward there was a TV that was only operational if you paid for it. I mean, well, it was free and operational from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. So, I mean, that's what I was waiting for. I mean, there's no way I'm paying for TV. Not in a hospital, anyway. Anyway, breakfast was at 8:30. I mean, again, I was so hungry that I ate a lot. Cornflakes, sausages and tomato sauce with the main meal. Apple juice, bread with butter and jam spread, and 1 Weetabix biscuit. Oh god, just talking about it makes me hungry. Again, it was very nice. Now, my mum came at 9:30 and stayed with me for pretty much the rest of the day. We watched the Winter Olympics on the free TV until it shut off at 12. I mean, lunch at 12:30, best meal I've ever had so far in the hospital. It was fish and chips. And just let that sink in for a moment. Fish and chips with mashed potato, which was the main meal. Tomato soup, a small cake slice, and I can't remember anything else. But after lunch, we found ways to entertain ourselves by either walking around the hospital, visiting the cafe, getting some stuff like a banana, or healthy fruit stuff, basically. Playing Mario Kart on the Switch. I mean, not else that happened that much, to be completely honest. Now, at 5 p.m. that same day, the Friday, we get the all clear to be discharged from the hospital. But before we can leave, before we do get discharged, the hospital must give us some paperwork and my medicine. All we can do is wait. Dinner was at 6:30, although I cannot for the life of me remember what it was, because I was so tired. I just wanted to go home. Anyways, at roughly 7 p.m, the hospital finished the paperwork and gave it to us and tells us that the medicine will be a little while longer. Now, you remember that guy with dementia that I was talking about a while ago? Well, he wanted to do a runner. He kept thinking he was going out to someplace, I don't know where. And at one point he asked whether to call a taxi. Honestly, dementia's a horrible thing to deal with. Poor guy. Anyway, back to the main story. At roughly 8:30 p.m, the tube that went into my bloodstream with all the saline water, potassium water, and glucose water got taken off, basically. The tube got taken off. Although my arm did still feel sore for about a few hours after that. Anyways, at 9 p.m, the hospital finally gets the medicine and gives it to us, which meant we were discharged from the hospital. Now, we didn't end up leaving the hospital until about 9:30, and we didn't get home until 10 p.m, where I immediately went to bed. Basically, that was all that happened. That's my hospital story. Alright, so thank you all for watching and listening to me blabbering on. So give the video a like if you liked. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more of this, and keep up to date with my health and everything. And yeah, and I'll see you in a future video.